Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, this is kind of a personal video, you know, take it as you will, but it's a weird thing to think about when it's growing up. Because, I look the way I do, and it still feels weird some days realizing that I'm 30. And, no one really. You get ideas of what to do, and you can get all sorts of advice from people, but actually doing things, it's easier for some people than others. And it can seem really disheartening if you look at people in your age group or younger than you and see them with, I guess you could say, more accomplishments. Seems weird to say more things because things aren't really, in the grand scheme of things, collections aren't that important. But having things certainly makes things easier. But I guess it's one problem that I think a lot of us have is these comparisons that you make with people. It's rarely everything that you're seeing. Like through social media, people don't normally post their low points or their average points, even. Usually people focus on just the really good stuff. So if that's what you're basing your comparisons off of, you're not going to be happy with anything that you look at because you're only seeing these highlights of a person's life instead of the mundane everyday sort of trudging through it all. I think for me personally, it's there's a lot of things that I've kind of started to realize that I would like that I don't have, you know. And it's not, and again, it's not necessarily like possessions or things that I own, but, you know, safety, I guess is a good way to put it, which really could only come through money, but, not feeling like, every day is a mystery type deal. And some people think that that's really like relieving, you know, that you don't know what to expect with your day. Anything could happen type deal. But, that gets stressful. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's it's a really weird feeling that, every day you could have some sort of drastic change that completely warps what your plans were. And there's lines of thought that you can take where it talks about, only living in your present life and not focusing too hard about your future. But I find that kind of hard to do. It's, I feel like most of the things that we do, whether you do it intentionally or not, you are thinking about your future, where you're going, things like that. If you're one of these people who can live in the present moment at all times and that's where your focus is, please comment how you got there because that's astounding to me. But for me, you know, I guess as far as the growing up part of things go and starting to develop habits, I saw a joke the other day where it was talking about how to make yourself happy and it said gaslight yourself. There's some validity to that though, as weird as it sounds. But if you start to do, to develop these sort of habits, it sucks for a little bit, You got to force yourself for a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks into doing something, at relatively close to the same time every day. But you do the same thing enough over a certain amount of time, and eventually it starts to feel weird when you don't do it. So most of us fall into that with bad habits, like eating junk food or, spending too much time watching stuff on YouTube, or, you got to play this certain game so you can get these resources or whatever. But, and it doesn't have to be everything at once, but, try making breakfast for yourself every day. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Scramble some eggs, make some toast. You know, maybe you don't like coffee. That's fine. You don't have to drink coffee. You don't have to do these adult things. You can get energy drinks and stuff like that. Don't drink a lot of them, but make some habits. But make them good ones. And if you can, try and replace some of your bad ones with some of these good ones. I'm trying to quit smoking right now, and it's awful. I still have cigarettes, but that's mainly. I feel like I don't know if I'm lying to myself or not, where it's like I have them just in case I feel like I'm getting too angry because I'm doing it for people around me. But, I bought one of those electronic cigarettes and I'm going to give that a go. And hopefully that's enough to like wean me off of it. So that's another thing too. Like when I say you don't have to do everything at once, quitting things cold turkey just straight like that, it's hard. It's really, really hard. So, if you do that and you stumble and you relapse or however you want to word it, don't feel bad about that. Just understand that it's okay to take it slow. You don't have to just stop it. That's another reason why I say try to replace it with something, because then you can sort of associate it with something else. Like, take with the smoking cigarettes thing. I don't smoke cigarettes inside. I always go outside. I'd assume if you're a smoker, you do that too. Still go outside. Do something else out there, though. It doesn't have to be something crazy. You could pace. You can just walk around, walk around your block or something like that. But replace it with something else. You can keep the habit, but you're doing something constructive. You do it enough and you'll feel like you have to. And then, I guess that's growing up, is taking all your bad habits and making them good habits. You still keep that, addictive quality in your life, but instead of killing yourself, you're improving yourself. I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. I know it's a lot of rambling, but, it's just something I've been thinking about. And hopefully you can think about it too. Y'all have a good day.